There are many factors that go into deciding when is the perfect time to visit Walt Disney World. And in my opinion, one of the most important ones is which festival is going on at Epcot right now. Now, as many of you know, Epcot is my favorite park at Walt Disney World, and there are two main reasons why. One, World Showcase, and two, the festivals that go on at World Showcase throughout the year. Now, as of right now, there are 4 festivals that go on for the foreseeable future. There's no rumors or Disney hasn't said anything about a 5th festival, but one can hope. The 4 festivals are as follow: the Festival of the Arts, the Flower and Garden Festival, the Food and Wine Festival, and the Festival of the Holidays. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk about each and every one of those festivals, and I'm going to give you my opinion regarding each and every one. Now, before we go into each individual festival, I wanted to talk about some of the things that all the festivals have in common. A lot of it is merchandise or collectible items. Now, me and my family, we love to collect merchandise and just have collectible items and all of that. And the festivals give you some amazing ones, especially if you're a pass holder. First off, the special magnets. Look at how adorable these things are. For every festival, they give the annual pass holders these special magnets. They also sometimes give out these special buttons. Look at how awesome this is. And sometimes they give these incredibly awesome collectible items, such as this one from the Festival of the Arts. Look how beautiful that is. And this one from the Flower and Garden Festival. But don't worry, not all collectible items are only for annual pass holders. Some collectible items, which are just epic, are for everyone, but they sometimes do come at an additional cost. The one that I am going to point out, because it has become one of my favorite collectible items, is Orange Bird right here. Check out how adorable he is. Now, this Orange Bird sippy cup was being sold in the Flower and Garden Festival last year, and it has become one of my favorite and most epic collectible items I've ever bought. Now, when I bought him, it had like an orange slush inside. The slush was good, but honestly, the cup itself, Orange Bird, this is the true highlight of the entire thing. Another thing that I wanted to mention, I count it as a collectible item because I love to collect them, is these little booklets right here. Now, these are the festival passports. Here, you're going to have information regarding all the events, all the dining, all the booths, everything that's going on in the festival itself. Now, these things are incredibly useful, especially when you're walking around World Showcase and you're looking for something to eat or you want to see the times of the events that are going on. This has everything that you need to know, and also look how awesome they look. So definitely a collectible item, trust me. Now let's jump into the festivals themselves, and the first one that I want to talk about, and the first one that happens in the year, is the Festival of the Arts. Now, the Festival of the Arts is the second shortest festival. It only lasts for like about a month, and it goes from around mid-January to around mid-February. So, for example, this year, the festival started January 17th and ended the 24th of February. But I do suggest checking out the Disney World website and seeing the official start and end dates because they typically differ from year to year. Now, one thing that all 4 festivals do have in common is that there's usually a show being shown in the America Gardens Theater in the American Pavilion. For the Festival of the Arts, you're going to have the Disney on Broadway concert series. Here you're going to have live performers singing some Disney Broadway songs. And I saw it once and it was simply spectacular. If I'm not mistaken, it was Lion King and it was amazing. The festival itself obviously is themed around art and it is simply awesome. So you have, paintings being displayed all over World Showcase. You have artists drawing right in front of you. You have artists drawing in chalk on the floor, making these amazing paintings. There's this like really cool color by number giant mural that was being painted every day. So they would give you like a little brush and some paint with a number on it, and then you would paint in your area with that number. It looks so cool. And then the paintings themselves that the guests would draw was just simply stunning. You have amazing photo pass opportunities throughout World Showcase. It's an awesome festival. Sadly, I've only been to it once, but I really hope I get to experience it again really soon and just get more of it, because when I went, I didn't really enjoy much of it, and it started getting better throughout the years. That I went the year before they implemented that color by number mural, and I really want to do that. So for sure, I'm going to be going back in the near future and enjoy more of the festival. Now let's move on to the Flower and Garden Festival. Now this, in my opinion, is the most photogenic festival of them all. It is beautiful. All the flowers around World Showcase, the topiaries, everything about this festival is stunning. And trust me, always makes for good pictures. If you have a camera, trust me, the picture is going to look amazing. Now, this festival typically starts around the beginning of March and ends around the end of May. Again, always check out those start and end dates because it ranges. This year, it started March 4th and it was supposed to end June 1st, but sadly, because of the coronavirus outbreak, it was cut short. Now, in the America Gardens Theater, you're going to have the Garden Rocks concert series. Now, here you're going to have a wide variety of artists, Air Supply, Rick Springfield, a bunch of different awesome artists coming, performing right in front of you, and it is simply awesome. Now, like I said before, all around World Showcase, you're going to have these amazing flower displays and awesome topiaries of the Disney characters, and that is just one of the best things that happen in World Showcase throughout the year. You'll also have the Butterfly Garden. Now, the Butterfly Garden is my favorite part of the entire Flower and Garden Festival because you walk in there and you have all the butterflies flying around. You have the beautiful flowers all over the place. Then like they're flying and then they land on you. It is beautiful and it's just one of my favorite things of all time. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention about the Flower and Garden Festival is the food that you can find in the booths. Now, some of the food that you can find in these booths is actually really good. So I have kind of like this like little ranking system, I guess, in terms of food in the festivals. It's food and wine festival level food or not food and wine festival level food. Some of the food items that you're going to find in the Flower and Garden Festival can compete with some of the food items you find in Food and Wine Festival. It's that good, trust me. In our first ever adventure together, we tried out some of the food that they were offering in the Flower and Garden Festival last year, and I had the brisket slider, which was amazing. I'm a huge fan of barbecue, so you throw in brisket in a sandwich and then barbecue sauce on top of it, of course I'm gonna love it. And it was amazing. And also that key lime tart. I am a huge fan of key lime pie. That was one of the best key lime something that I have ever had in my life. That crust was super soft and perfect. The key lime itself, like the custard itself, was amazing. Strong key lime taste, but that is exactly how I love it. Amazing. It was simply amazing. Now, for the summer, there's usually never a festival, from June, July, and August. They never have a festival, which is why I'm really hopeful they introduce a fifth festival because, you have the time frame to fit it in there and you could create an awesome festival. So I feel like maybe, hopefully in the near future or sometime, they introduce a brand new festival there. So the festival after the Flower and Garden Festival is the Food and Wine Festival. Now, like me, obviously, Disney Rod, I love food. So having food in the name, I'm gonna love this festival. And trust me what I'm telling you, the food that you can find in some of these booths are spectacular. Now, the Food and Wine Festival typically ranges from the beginning of September to the end of November. But last year, it was the longest ever Food and Wine Festival, which ranged from August 29th to November 23rd. And now this year, because of the coronavirus outbreak and the fact that the Flower and Garden Festival is cut short, they're going to start the Food and Wine Festival, but it's also going to have elements of the Flower and Garden Festival. So it's kind of going to be like a mix between the two. And so that's going to range from July 15th till fall. They still haven't announced a ending date yet. Now, Food and Wine Festival. What is there not to love about amazing food being served in these booths? It is amazing. Sometimes it could be on the more expensive side, but trust me when I'm telling you, it is definitely worth it. Every year that you go to Food and Wine Festival, you try some new things and it's always like one step ahead. It's amazing. For example, in the Canada booth, they always have the bacon cheddar cheese soup that they have in Le Cellier. They serve it in the Canadian booth and it is just amazing. Now, two other amazing dishes that I had at Food and Wine Festival were the Irish sausages and the scallops and baked shrimp scampi. Both were amazing. The Irish sausage was just amazing. One of the best sausages I've ever had. And then the scallops and shrimp, one of the best shrimps I've ever had in my life. I'm a huge fan of shrimp scampi. So they threw that in there and then they threw scallops in there. Spectacular. But with that being said, the best thing that I had last year in Food and Wine Festival, and one of the best things I've ever had in my life, was the warm chocolate pudding in the Ireland booth. That was so good. Like I've said multiple times, I have a huge sweet tooth and chocolate cake is one of the best things to ever have. So it was like a molten lava cake. It was super soft and warm. And it had like an Irish cream sauce on top, which was just heaven. Check out my reaction right here. I don't even know, man. It was so good. So yeah, you will spend a lot of money eating here, but trust me when I'm telling you, it is definitely worth it. And finally, but certainly not least, we reach the festival of the holidays. Now, this one usually starts around the end of November and goes all the way to December 30th. Now, again, the starting date, it ranges. For example, last year, it started November 29th. But the only fixed date is December 30th. So the festival of the holidays always goes up to the day before New Year's, because after the 30th, Epcot prepares for its New Year's celebration, and they do take down all the Christmas decorations. It is the only park that takes down the Christmas decorations before New Year's. The other three parks do keep up their decorations until, typically the first 2 weeks of January. That's when they'll start to take it down. The Festival of Holidays, you're going to have holiday decorations throughout World Showcase. Each individual country is going to have their own unique show, just explaining their holiday celebration to you. And they do it in such an incredibly awesome fashion. In the America Gardens Theater, you're going to have something called the Candlelight Processional. Now, if you remember seeing my vlog, I did say that the Candlelight Processional is one of my favorite things to watch of all time. Here you're gonna hear, the story of Jesus Christ and the story of Christmas being told and narrated by a celebrity host, and having this amazing choir sing the most beautiful Christmas songs that there are in the most beautiful way possible. I mean, every single time that I watch it, it's just beautiful, and I always leave with like a sense of wow. It's always amazing. And if you have not watched it, I highly recommend doing so. Everything about the Festival of Holidays is just simply spectacular. I mean, what isn't there to love? You have all the holiday decorations up. You have a big tree right in the entrance of World Showcase. All those shows, the Candlelight Processional. It's amazing. Now, the only thing is, I wish they had better food. Like I said before in my rankings, either the food is Food and Wine Festival level or not Food and Wine Festival level. Sadly, the food in the Festival of Holidays does not reach that Food and Wine Festival level, but it is still amazing food. Now, the first food item that I do want to mention is the Bûche de Noël from the France booth. This is an all-time favorite. I mean, they've had it for multiple years now, and every year it just seems to get better, and it is amazing. It is my go-to snack in the Festival of Holidays every year. Now, this year also el pastelón and the queso fresco arepa, amazing entrees. Also, the Mongolian beef bao bun from the China booth was simply spectacular as well. Now, the food is amazing, don't get me wrong. I mean, it is one of my favorite festival snacks, but it doesn't reach the level of Food and Wine Festival in terms of the food. So those are the 4 Epcot festivals that there are. Now, I'm gonna give you my rankings, and coincidentally, my ranking actually follows the order of the festivals throughout the year. Number 4, I do have the Festival of the Arts. Nothing against it. It is an amazing festival, but I have only been to it once. Sadly, I haven't experienced it that much, and that is why it does rank last on my list. In third place, I have the Flower and Garden Festival. Now, this is a hard one to put in third place because it is an amazing, awesome festival. It's beautiful. That butterfly garden is just amazing, and the food is spectacular. But in my opinion, it doesn't beat the next 2. Now, for first and second place, it's like a constant battle. I mean, it's really close. But at number 2, I do have Food and Wine Festival. And at number 1, I do have the Festival of Holidays. Now, Food and Wine Festival does take the second place spot on my list because of the food. As you know, as I've said it, countless amounts of times on my channel, I love Disney food. I am a self-proclaimed Disney foodie. So obviously, anything with amazing food is gonna rank high on my list. And the food that you can find in those booths are just simply spectacular. My only regret whenever I go is not trying more. And now, at number 1, I do have the Festival of the Holidays. Now, I feel like this is kind of an unpopular opinion. Not many people really like the Festival of Holidays, and they typically rank it low on their list. But I do rank it number 1, and I'll tell you why. For me, my favorite holiday is Christmas. It does mean a lot to me, and just being able to spend it with my family, it makes it the most meaningful holiday to me. Being able to celebrate my favorite holiday in a beautifully themed and amazingly decorated World Showcase with those spectacular shows and the Candlelight Processional, it's hard to beat. And I have so many amazing magical memories in the Festival of the Holidays that it just has to take the number 1 spot on my list. But don't let my rankings dissuade you from going to one festival or another. All 4 festivals are spectacular, and whichever one that you go to, you are going to have a magical time. Let me know in the comments below what you think about my rankings and what's your favorite festival at Epcot. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, smash that like button and hit subscribe. I upload a brand new video every Wednesday. Thank you for being part of the Disney family, and see you real soon.